Feedback. If everybody can please mute their mics and their cameras, that would be great. That'd be really helpful. Thank you so much. The presentation is geared to provide you more information on academic advising for our future Roadrunners. Again, we want to thank you for joining us today. Just as a courtesy, please make sure that all your mics and your cameras are muted throughout the presentation. That will really help us in providing the best possible experience for everyone. I will be your moderator and host for this morning's session, and my job will be to keep us rolling. We'd like to take a quick second to say that we know how COVID-19 has affected how we interact with strangers and our loved ones. And with that in mind, please know that we're very thankful that you're joining us this morning, especially on a weekend, on a Saturday. On behalf of UTSA, thank you very much. As far as what you can expect from our session, it will be about 45 minutes to 1 hour long. And again, a session will be in academic advising. If at any point during today's presentation you have questions, we want you to utilize our chat box. I'll be monitoring the chat box for popular questions to share during our question and answer portion at the end of our session. If you're not sure where the chat box is, simply click anywhere on your screen. A taskbar should pop up towards the bottom of the screen and look for the text bubble, and that's where the chat box is. It should pop up. Again, questions and answers will be answered during the question and answer portion of this session. I did notice that some people joined us via call. Unfortunately, you will not have access to chat, but again, we'll be providing information on how you can contact us at the end of the session. Should we miss any of the questions, no worries. We'll be having a contact information provided for you at the end of this session. Before we officially begin, just a quick reminder to check your microphones and your cameras and make sure they are muted throughout this presentation. At this time, I would like to transition into starting the session and the opportunity to introduce our presenter for the session. Ms. Claudia Trevino, Director of Advising, also being joined by Brandy Barksdale, Senior Academic Program Advisor, Sarah Tate, Senior Academic Program Advisor, Temple Carter, Senior Instructional Manager for Academic Advising. And with that, let's get started. Thank you very much.
Hi. My name is Claudia Trevino. I'm Director for Academic Advising, and I'll be the first speaker for this presentation today. So thank you all for joining us with the UTSA Academic Advising for UTSA Day. Really appreciate you all working with us in this new format, and we're excited to try this new way of doing presentations for UTSA Day. So thank you very much. So before we get started, just want to give you a quick overview of what you can expect in this presentation. The first thing that you'll notice within our presentation is that we have our social media hashtag available. So hashtag #AdviseTheBeak. Academic Advising has this hashtag that we use in social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These are all areas where you can find our social media hashtag. And we highly encourage you to please go ahead and use social media to talk about academic advising or follow us on social media. The next part of our presentation is going to be highlights and credentials, and I'll be the one presenting on the different highlights and credentials for UTSA Academic Advising. After that, we're going to transition to a different speaker, and that will be Ms. Sarah Tate, who will talk about academic advising at UTSA. After Sarah is done speaking on that portion of the presentation, Ms. Brandy Barksdale will go into resources and tools that are available for you as a student, and as a potential student at UTSA. And then at the end, all of those questions that you are putting into your chat, into the chat room function of this presentation, we will be answering verbally at the end of this presentation. But thank you all so much for attending, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to highlight is that UTSA has definitely decided that academic advising is integral, is very important to a student's success. So whereas some institutions may put academic advising in different divisions, the division that UTSA has put academic advising is the division of student success. So we really recommend that you go visit this website. So the website, if you go to the UTSA homepage, and there should be a search bar in the top right-hand corner, if you search student success, you'll be able to get to this page right here. Now, the division has many student-focused services that are available, and some of these services are available for you as a potential prospective student, as a new student. Sorry, getting a lot of feedback. If we can just make sure that we mute our mics. Thank you very much. But yes, visit this website and you can find services that are available to you now and services that are available once you get into the institution. Highly recommend that you visit this website. The next part that we want to highlight when it comes to academic advising are the vision and mission of academic advising. And please take a moment to read through the vision and mission of academic advising at UTSA. But I'm going to focus on three specific areas. The part where it says leader in the advising profession, the holistic development of students, and collaborative relationships. So when we talk about being a leader within the academic advising profession, it means that we're working hard to support our students and to support our advising community. Because we know that when we work hard within the community, we know we're doing a good job for our students. And we know when we're doing a good job for our students, we're doing a good job for our community. And you'll see that we're moving towards realizing this vision by the awards that we're going to highlight later on in this presentation. The next piece is the holistic development. We all know that academic success is more than just the time spent in the classroom. We know that students come to us with a variety of different needs and different goals, different accomplishments that they want to achieve. And so when we work with our students, we want to assure you that we're taking a look at the whole picture of student success. The last part I want to focus on is the collaborative relationship aspect of the academic advising process. Just like any relationship, the success of the relationship is based on the work that all parties put into that relationship. So later on in this presentation, we're going to highlight some of the responsibilities that you can expect from academic advisors, but that we are also hoping that we can bring to the table as well. And as both parties work hard to support this collaborative relationship, we are both working hard towards your student success. Some other pieces that we want to highlight in this section of the presentation are the different, credentials that we bring to the table. So we're going to focus on a couple of numbers coming up, 4 numbers. So first off is 155. That is the number of academic advising staff that we have here at UTSA. So when you look at this breakdown, it's approximately 97 academic advisors, 17 support staff, 41 student workers. So if we focus on some of the details of this number, 97 academic advisors, this number changes in accordance with the number of students that come into UTSA. Because the industry standard for academic advising caseloads and ratios is approximately 300:1. UTSA is very focused on maintaining this 300:1 caseload management standard. It is a standard that makes the student services most ideal and makes the caseload management most ideal for the academic advising and the student side. The other number I want to highlight within 155 is the 41. So we are also a big employee of students at UTSA. So if you receive financial aid or work study and you are needing a job, you may want to consider working for academic advising. The next piece is 8. So 8 is the average years of academic advising experience that we have within UTSA advising. Now, if you look at that number across the board, we have new advisors, yes, but we also have academic advisors with 20+ years of experience. And if you look at different industry standards of the average being 4 years within a job, that means that academic advising is doing really well to retain its employees, and employee retention is also really, really important to getting that historical knowledge, that experience to bring to our services that we give to our students. So we have strong experience that we bring to the table when we work with our students, definitely. The next couple of numbers that we're going to go over have to do with the education that we have and the different awards that we have. So we have 80, which is the percentage of academic advisors with doctorates and master's degrees. So just as much as we focus on the learning of our students, we're also focused on the learning of our staff. And lifelong learning is definitely a thing. So the more that we learn, the more that we improve ourselves, the better service, the better work that we can give to support our students. The last piece has to do with our awards. And 29 is where we're at approximately at this time. I think we have a couple more that rolled in this past couple of months. But when you think about it, academic advising at UTSA is definitely moving forward in trying to be leaders within the profession. We receive awards at the local level, the state level, the regional level, the national level. And so as we receive these awards, we're getting that recognition that the hard work that we're doing for our students is definitely paying off. Now, with all that hard work together, yes, we're getting the recognition from our advising community, but we're also getting the recognition from our students. With the surveys that we're taking this past year, these are voluntary surveys. Students can choose to fill them out or not fill them out. But we had over 800 students choose to fill out these surveys. And from those 800 students, 99% of the students that filled out these surveys were satisfied, were happy with the services that we are providing. So not only is the hard work that we are putting into what we do as academic advisors being recognized within our advising community, but we're also getting this recognition from our students. And I know that me personally, anytime I get a good survey feedback, I know it makes me feel good, and it verifies that the work I am doing is serving the students that I have. We're going to go ahead and continue on to the next section at this time. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Tate, and I'm a senior academic program advisor at UTSA. And so what I'd like to talk to you about today is going to be really just how does the academic advising process work at UTSA and some important considerations to think about as a student. Next slide, please. So academic advising is actually a partnership between our students and academic advisors. And Ms. Trevino mentioned this, that it's a collaborative partnership. And so what we're looking for as advisors is how can we best help you succeed as a student at UTSA? And so most of you are familiar with how a high school counselor works, and they help you build your schedule. And so academic advising does help you select courses, but we do much more than that. And we really are here to help kind of mentor you through the college process. Next slide, please. So really, when we think about a collaborative relationship, that means both of us play a role. And so as academic advisors, we have about 6 main responsibilities that we like to think about. And for students, there'll be about 4 responsibilities. So what I'd like to talk to you about are the advisor responsibilities first. So number 1 and most important is communication. So as academic advisors, we're going to communicate with you quite frequently about different things. One of the main things that our concern is curriculum requirements, meaning all of those classes you have to take to fulfill your degree, whatever your major might be. We're also going to help communicate different academic and state policies, which they're probably more than you realize, and they're in the university procedures that we have in place on the academic side of things. Another big job we have as advisors is to help teach you guys how to make good decisions based off of various things for your degree. So not only do we want to help increase your decision-making skills, but we want to show you how to take responsibility for your educational process. Okay, so it's your degree that you're getting and your major at the end of the day, and we want to help you take responsibility for that and give you the tools to be successful. We also encourage and guide you. And so what we do during our advising sessions is we're going to talk a lot about what are your goals? What major do you want? Why do you want that major? At the end of the day, when you have your degree, what do you want to do with your life? And so we're going to help you, encourage you, and guide you through that and get you to the right people to kind of make those goals and dreams a reality. We're also going to monitor. So we don't check in with you every day necessarily, but at UTSA, we have what's called an assigned caseload. And what that means is you are going to be assigned a specific academic advisor. So you have one person essentially that you'll go to for your academic advising questions. And part of our job as advisors is we actually go through all of our assigned students about every semester to make sure everybody's on track. And when you're not on track, we're going to reach out and ask some questions as to what's going on. We also support you, and that part of that is really support in your academic progress. So are you, when you're planning your schedule, are you thinking about classes that you like and pairing those together? Are you making sure that you're staying on track with classes you need? And then we're also going to refer you to different campus organizations or different staff that might be able to help you in your process. Maybe you're having trouble in a class and you need tutoring in an area. We're going to be able to give you that information. Okay, next slide, please. So I mentioned there's going to be 4 student responsibilities. So the 4 student responsibilities, I say the most important is read your email. So I mentioned we're going to communicate with you quite frequently, and we do that via email. And so when you become a student at UTSA, you'll actually be able to select your preferred email. So make sure that's an email that you actually check, because we're going to be sending you information as we get closer to the semester as well. It's also important that you really start to take responsibility for your academic career. And so that thumbs up, take responsibility. So that means, do you understand your major and do you know how to career explore? Do you know how to goal set? We're going to help you with that, but we need you to help take responsibility for some of that. Learn and know. So where do you find what classes you have to take? We're going to go through that a little bit later in this presentation, but do you know where to find what degree requirements you have? Do you know where to find different policies and procedures? So taking responsibility and knowing where to find that information. And then last, we want you to schedule and prepare, meaning we want to see our students as academic advisors. We're happy to help you. And so you can schedule advising appointments. And before your advising appointment, you want to prepare for that. What questions do you have? One of the things I tell my students, I hope you guys can see, I get myself a little notebook, and you keep this notebook with you as your academic advising notebook. You don't put anything else in it. So the first appointment we have with your advisor, you take that notebook with you, and you'll always have one place to go where you've had questions and things answered during those advising sessions. Next slide, please. So I know some people are wondering, well, how do I get in touch with my advisor? What are the ways that I can actually communicate with them? So we offer multiple ways that you can get in touch with your advisor. The first and most important one is your orientation appointment. So orientation appointments, what's kind of unique about UTSA is we're one of the few institutions in the state of Texas that actually offers one-on-one orientation appointments. So when you're accepted to UTSA and you've gone through orientation, you'll then have an actual appointment with an academic advisor where they'll help you plan out your fall semester and kind of go over important policies and information. Once you're a student at UTSA, you can schedule appointments with your advisor. And we'll talk about some of the tools we use later on and how to find that information. When you're here, and when we're on campus and not during the social distancing time, we have on-call support, but that's an on-campus feature where if you had like a quick question, a lot of advisors have a certain time during the week that you can just drop in for quick questions. The one that I tell my students to use the most is email. Email is a great way to get in touch with your advisor. It also is a written record of what kind of was said and the questions you've had so that we can look historically at that information. So email is a great way to get in touch with your advisor. Now we're offering virtual meetings because we are doing the social distancing. So if you're coming this summer for orientation, let's say, you will have a virtual meeting with your advisor in this kind of similar WebEx format where you can meet one-on-one with them. And then last, we do have phone calls that are available, but most advisors try to stick with email and virtual meetings and scheduled appointments. Next slide, please. So some of you may know UTSA actually has 2 campuses. We have our main campus, which is sometimes referred to as the 1604 campus, and we have the downtown campus. What's nice is, although we're on 2 campuses, we are just one academic advising team. So we share information. If you were, let's say, chose a major that was housed at our downtown campus and decide later to change to a major that's at our main campus, your academic advisor would still have access to all of the advising notes that the downtown campus had. It's a very clean process, so it's the same services in terms of academic advising are offered at both campuses. Next slide, please. One website I'd like to kind of point you guys to is the UTSA Academic Advising website. This is a great way. It's a great website that has all sorts of information that we'll go through in a little bit. But if you look at the blue kind of highlighted scroll, there's the mouse, you can see the Find Your Advisor tab, and that's a great way that you can click on that and you can find by advising kind of center or by major and where you would meet your academic advisor if you were on campus. Next slide, please. And so last but not least, the advisors are most excited about this. On our main campus, we're actually moving into a centralized modular complex. So it used to be that advising centers were kind of all over the main campus, and now we're all going to be housed in one building where you kind of have one stop to go see your academic advisor in one building. We won't be spread out, and we're really excited about offering that opportunity for our students. And we'll have some student success partners in that new modular complex as well. Next slide, please. It was nice speaking with you, and I'm going to pass this over to Ms. Barksdale.
Good morning, future Roadrunners. My name is Brandy Barksdale. I'm a senior academic program advisor. And now we'd like to go in a little more detail as far as some resources that we have that help to keep you in tune and informed in regards to advising the university and just things that also can help you in regards to your success here at UTSA. Some of the first tools that we'll take a look at will be those that are accessible for everyone. And then we do have a few tools that are only accessible once we are an academic, or excuse me, once we are admitted to the university. And so let's take a deeper look at some of the resources that we have. So the first one here, as Ms. Tate had mentioned earlier, we do have an academic advising website. Our website, as you can see here, has a lot of great resources that help you to either prepare to be a Roadrunner as far as our future Roadrunners, or if you're looking for transfer questions or concerns, as well as some of our current students. We have tools that help you kind of look at ways to outline your degrees, use some of the resources that will go into deeper detail in a moment as far as your degree plans, even a resource tab, as you'll be able to see here, that gives you some more insight regarding campus resources, questions or concerns regarding university policy, student policy, holds, forms. We have a lot of great resources and tips and tools on success all throughout there. And so we do encourage you to stay informed through the academic advising webpage. Through there, you would also see opportunities in which we have some of our different social media feeds that feed on there, as well as just important dates that you need to stay aware of. And so let's take a deeper look at some of the other tools that we have too. So some may have a question or concern in regards to like what major, what do I want to do? If you're still kind of on the fence about what you're wanting to do or just exploring, we do have a specific advising center that works with our exploratory students called Student Placement Advising Center. But if you want to just kind of study and research some different majors, all the different majors that University of Texas San Antonio has to offer, then you're welcome. We want to encourage you to visit the homepage at utsa.edu. When you click on the academics tab, it allows you to see all the different majors that UTSA offers. And you can click on, if you see below, it says all undergraduate majors. When you click on that, it helps to filter all the majors that we offer by alphabetical order, by college, and then also by industry or even interest. So it can even narrow down for you based off if you're interested in helping others or working with numbers or working out, things of that nature. You can kind of see what different majors can help cater to your interest. And so we would want to encourage you, if you're just kind of seeing what we have to offer, or just again, wanting to explore different majors, this is a great resource that you can use. And again, it's accessible for everyone. Now, in regards to some tools that once you are admitted to UTSA, there are some tools that we further help to get you going in regards to getting on track and remaining on track with your degree. And so we'd like to take a look at our next tool that we have to offer as well. And so you'll see here, this tool is accessible through your student portal, ASAP. And this tool helps you to kind of stay on track with what you need to do in regards to your degree plan. Degreeworks is a really great tool that is used by both your academic advisor as well as you to stay on top of what you already taken, what you're currently in, as well as what you still need to accomplish your goals and graduate with your bachelor's or your degree from UTSA. As you go deeper into the particular tool, we have different resources within it that help you even track like your GPA based off of your grades throughout the semester. You also are able to look at a very specialized degree plan that you and your academic advisor go through, as mentioned earlier in the presentation, because a lot of times your degree plan may change. And so it's a very interactive degree plan tool that helps you know what you would want to take semester by semester. And again, this is a collaborative effort between you and your academic advisor. Remembering this is accessible once we are admitted to the university, as well as our following tool that we have. And this particular tool that we have after the Degreeworks is our planner. Now, this is something that the university is used and that we use to kind of take some of the sting out of planning what your classes should be and how you should be taking them. It's a very interactive and great tool. It's one that allows you to plug in when you want to start. If you know you're not a morning person, you may not want to take an 8 o'clock class, or when you want to finish your day, or based off of your outside commitments, what type of breaks you need throughout your day. And so once you work with your advisor and are able to see what you need to take, this tool, the schedule planner, allows you to plug in your classes, plug in your options such as start time, end time, breaks, and so forth. And it helps to generate it can generate several different options and ways in which you can take these courses. And so it's a really great tool, and it's kind of, again, helps to take out some of the manual work to what you would need to do when it comes to scheduling your classes for the current and future semesters. And so after that, then we definitely have some other great tools to keep informed. And so let's take a look at some additional resources and tools that we have. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, we have our website. We also have a general way to contact us if you're not certain on who to contact. As we mentioned, there's ways to find your advisor through our academic webpage. If you're not certain on who to contact, then we do have our advising@utsa.edu. This is an email that you can send to if you have general questions or even questions after today's presentation. And again, we do aim to keep our website updated with important dates, our feeds, and so forth in regards to our social media, as Mr. Trevino had mentioned earlier. And last but not least, in regards to our social media, just a quick reminder as far as the social media pages that we do have. We do have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. As we mentioned, our hashtag is AdviseTheBeat. And this is an opportunity to stay informed throughout the semesters, throughout the year, as well as just in preparation for your time at UTSA. And also sometimes we do little fun giveaways and anything of that nature through some of our social media tags. And so we want to encourage you to follow us. This is a way to stay informed of advising the university and all that's going around in helping you guys to succeed. And so at this time, I believe that is the end. And so I'll turn it back over to Clarissa to take a look at some of the questions that you all have been asking.
Thank you. We've had a lot of great questions. So a lot of them one of the main questions that we have is, who is my advisor and when do they get in contact with me? And that's been one of the main questions that we've been getting through our chat. So got that answer for us?
I can speak to that question. So if you are a new student coming into UTSA, what winds up happening is that you can either email the advising unit that supports your major, and then with that email, that initiates the assignment of an academic advisor and the creation of an orientation appointment. So if you are a new student, you won't have an assigned advisor until you get the booked orientation appointment in most cases. So if you are a new student, I highly recommend that you email the main advising email of the unit that houses your major. So if you are a marketing major, you would email the main advising email for business advising. If you are a bio major, you would email the main advising email for life and health science advising. And through these emails, that's how that orientation appointment process can begin and the assignment of the academic advisor process can begin.
Just as a friendly reminder, all new students need to go to orientation before they can see an advisor. So if you haven't done orientation, you need to get through that step first before we get to the next step. Another question that we got is, how do they change majors? If they have they're in a major right now and they want to be updated majors because, you know, they need to change their classes. How do they do that? I think I can speak to that in saying that you want to contact the One Stop Enrollment Center and change your major through there. They can assist you with providing that form and making sure that you have that information updated. And so that way, when you are meeting with your advisor, you're meeting the correct advisor and being able to register for those courses. Is there anything you'd like to add from the team on that? Okay, I think another, okay, yes, go ahead.
Sarah, go ahead.
No, it's okay, Brandy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Brandy.
In regards to, I would say the directive that was given, I believe, in regards to change of major for our new freshmen is it should be referred to, is it orientation and family programs to help with that update for our freshman orientation. The change of major process is a little different for our current students. And again, some of that information can be found on the website, but for new incoming freshmen, it should be, as part of the orientation process, it should be referred to the orientation and family programs.
For that update. I had a student ask about Calculus 1 and taking it in a college community course, transferable to UTSA if they want to take Calculus 1 at a local college, community college.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
They took the ALEX test and they're needing to take Cal 1. And so they wanted to know whether they can take that course at a local community college.
As in regards to transferring courses from different institutions, we really recommend that you get a hold of an academic advisor to have a deeper conversation about that. Because depending on the institution, depending on the specific course from the institution, it can kind of change things up. And Clarissa, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but as a transfer, I guess, as a transfer coordinator, you may have some more feedback on how courses transfer into the institution.
Yeah,
but other
so
than that,
definitely, and
your advisor.
Yeah, definitely is something that, so although we can let you know, yes, this course may transfer, and we always say may because until it actually, we have it in the system, we will not know if it's an official transferable course. With our local Alamo colleges, most classes do transfer, I can tell you that, but it is definitely something we want to go ahead and have more of a deeper conversation one-to-one on what you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to continue. We do have a transfer advising as well, and you can always email them at transferadvising@utsa.edu. So to get a more in-depth advisement, they can actually meet with you one-on-one to discuss what you're wanting to do, and definitely kind of go in from there. I can tell you that with Cal 1, the programs probably prefer that you take it at UTSA, but it does not mean that you cannot and it won't be transferable. Again, that's more of a one-to-one conversation that we would like to have with you. I think another question that we have is how would my, when would my advisor show up ASAP? And I think you kind of answered some of that. Like they continue to have holds with advising. They've already emailed their advisor, no one's contacted them back. Where do they go from there? That's if they made contact, they have received an email back, and they still have holds for advising.
I can take that question. I think it's most important if you you can either, if you know your major for sure, contact that. Like Ms. Trevino was saying, find the email address for that center. Like I typically advise business students. So you can find that on that UTSA advising website. You can find which major goes into what advising unit. If for some reason you haven't heard back on that webpage, there's also phone numbers that you could contact the center if that works best for you, or you can do the advising at utsa.edu if you're having trouble getting in touch with someone. But it's usually best to go to the center first because that's where you're going to be assigned an advisor, like Ms. Trevino was saying. And for some centers, they might you might see an advisor during orientation, and then you might actually be assigned a different advisor just based on our caseloads, because we try to not overwhelm. One advisor would have too many students and another advisor didn't have enough. So it's just something to keep in mind. You're always going to be with a professional advisor that's fully capable of serving your needs as you come in as either a transfer or a new freshman student. But going to the center for your major is the best and quickest way to get help with those questions.
Thank you. Another question we had is, do CAP students have a specific advisor?
I can take that. So CAP students, as do all students, have an assigned advisor. So every student at UTSA, every incoming freshman, whether they're CAP or UTSA admitted, whatever the case may be, and as well as our current students, as mentioned earlier, the caseloads, every student has an academic advisor that's assigned to them. And I believe, as Ms. Trevino had mentioned earlier on in the presentation, it's by way of every advisor has university looks to keep about 300 students assigned to each advisor as far as the ratios. But yes, academic advising does assign every incoming freshman, including CAP. And to confirm your advisor, that information can be found in the student portal, the ASAP, under advisor contact information. If one has already been assigned, as well as a current student, it can be located and found on their plan as their assigned advisor. But again, if there's questions or concerns on who is your assigned advisor, it can go to our general email, or you can also contact the center in which your major is advised under.
Another question that we had here was about Workstudy and how do you apply for Workstudy, what jobs are available. We do have Workstudy available. You can go to One Stop and or you can just search our UTSA and just put Workstudy. But we do have a Workstudy program available, and you do want to sign up and be able to look for jobs through our Career Center at Handshake. You can upload your resume through there. Look what jobs are available through the Handshake. So it's definitely something that you do have to look for what positions are available to see at UTSA. So again, UTSA One Stop, you can go to financial aid section, go to Workstudy, and it'll direct you to that information, or go directly to our Career Center to be able to look for and apply for jobs. And you would do it through Handshake. You would want to have your resume ready, and then from there go on. So definitely Workstudy available to you. If you want Workstudy and you hadn't put that on your financial aid application, you do have to go through One Stop Enrollment Center, One Stop at edu.edu. You can contact them through there just to get that information updated and help you see how that will affect your financial aid package. So again, Workstudy positions are available. You would go through the Handshake system to do that in our Career Center. I think at this point, we're going to have to start wrapping it up, but I think we got most of the questions answered for that. Again, if we didn't answer a direct question for you, you can email the Academic Advising Center at advising@utsa.edu for more direct questions. And please just always remember to be checking your ASAP account under Future Roadrunner. It'll let you know what holds you have and how to clear those holds and get that information updated. And again, our One Stop Enrollment Center does help a lot with a lot of different questions. So you can always contact, if you forget who, just contact our One Stop Enrollment Center and they'll advise you on where to go. But thank you again for joining us here. We do want to remind everybody there is a link for you to do a survey, and we strongly advise you to consider doing that link for a survey. We want to make sure that we are providing the best service possible and improving on this. So I want to give a big thank you to everyone who joined me today and helped participate. Again, Claudia, Brandy, Sarah, and Alyssa, thank you again for doing that. I appreciate it. Again, we want your feedback. So please do that survey. We'll remain on the chat box for maybe a couple, like 3 more minutes if you have any more questions, and see if we can help you with that. Other than that, that was it for today. And again, thank you for joining us for a virtual session. We thank you for taking time on this Saturday morning, and have a good rest of the weekend. Thank you. Go Runners.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Clarissa, I'd just like to, one last tip or tool I put in the chat, the guidebook resource that's in there as well, to give some more information for students if they have questions or concerns. That link is in the chat. And it also is going to be on the guidebook resource page for UTSA Academic Advising.
Great. Thank you.